Alright folks, and welcome back to the Don's channel. I am the Donfather and I'm here with a match review of round 11 2019 in the AFL between North Melbourne Kangaroos and Richmond Tigers. Well, what can I say about it? Really good match to watch, but not because it was competitive. It wasn't competitive whatsoever today. North Melbourne, the Roos, they absolutely destroyed Richmond in my opinion today. In every area they were better. Their tackling was better. Their marks, they made a lot more marks. They forced the game. They literally stayed on top of it from the majority. I would say a good 3/4 of the match. They were in complete control. Maybe minus the end to the second quarter. Richmond looked like they were going to maybe put a bit of a comeback on, but that didn't seem to be the case. It fizzled out. They brought off Dustin Martin just before the end of the second quarter, where he had kicked two, albeit the first one of the two near the end of that quarter. It was debated whether or not he pushed your North Melbourne boy in the back. I don't really see it too much of a push. I think the boy knew what he was doing. He leaned forward. He kind of tried to buy it a little bit, in my opinion. I would have let the goal stand, but as I say, I'm not an expert in this sport, but I would have let the goal stand because one boy wanted the ball, the other one didn't. I would, based on that, I would say, yeah, Dustin Martin was well within his rights to put his arms on the back of him. However, Ben Brown, my man of the match, absolutely outstanding. He made the marks look effortless. For a guy that just looks kind of skinny, he doesn't have an awful lot of a build to him, and his hair is absolutely outrageous. He looks a little bit like Sideshow Bob from The Simpsons. But who cares about his appearance? He was absolutely electric today. He made the hard things look simple, and the simple things bread and butter, easy. I think he scored 5 today. But as I say, his marks were sensational. He didn't really even need to jump. He just put his hands up. His arms just kept going like Stretch Armstrong. They were like, he just kept going and going and going, and he made the marks look easy. My star man, and also the other boy who kicked 4 today for the North Melbourne for the Roos. I'm not too sure of his name, I forgot it, but he was absolutely. And when I tried to do the match stats afterwards, it wouldn't show me the goal scorers, bizarrely. Not sure why that is, but anyway, he kicked 4 and Ben Brown kicked 5. Absolutely exceptional, as I said, from start to finish. The Roos, very impressive. I think they're still sitting at 14th in the ladder, even with that win, which is quite surprising. I think they've got Gold Coast next week, so you'd imagine that'll be 3 straight wins on the bounce for them. Richmond were really, really disappointing. Even their kicking was absolutely abysmal. A team that I really enjoy watching as well. They've got some players. I know they're missing a few key players, according to the commentators, are out. The coach made some really bizarre decisions to take Dusty off at really important times of the match, especially when they had a little bit of momentum. He'd kicked 2, brought him off, put him on the bench. The commentators pointed that out, but I also noticed it myself. It didn't make much sense. He was getting a lot of joy at that moment, and they put him on the bench. Bizarre decision. And again, another bizarre decision when they took him off, again, I think in the 4th. And he was kind of watching the game, and you think he's the only man really that was stepping up, could have made a difference. But all that being said, the 4th quarter, the 3rd quarter was an absolute demolition. The 4th quarter kind of followed on. Richmond got a couple of kicks maybe, but their kicking overall was horrendous by their standards. Even simple kicks to players, they made it look hard. They just went at the races today. I think North Melbourne just wanted it more. They forced a lot of errors on the Richmond side of things. You've got to give a lot more credit to North Melbourne than saying that actually Richmond were poor. Yes, I think they had poor moments, but I just think North Melbourne were on fire today. The Roos thoroughly deserved the victory. It was great to see, actually, because I actually watched them last week against the Bullies, the Dogs, of course. The Western Bulldogs, for people who don't know, but I imagine anybody who's watching this knows exactly who I'm talking about. The Bulldogs last week put on a bit of a fight back in that, and then North Melbourne just stepped it up another level, and that was their coach's last game in charge. So today's coach it was his first game. So 2 wins in the bounce, one with the older coach, and I don't know their names, and I apologise for that. I'm really trying to learn as many names in this sport as possible. But obviously, it was a great send-off for him last week, and it was a great start to this new coach's reign in charge of the Roos. So they look good actually. I think it's a false position on the table when you see the quality in their team. 14th seems completely bizarre really, to think that they do actually possess quality. I'm not too sure what the result would have been today if the Tigers had all their players fit, all their key players. So I've got to take that into consideration when I'm giving them a little bit of a hammering here in this video, because they actually are a good side. I've seen quite a bit of highlights of them and they are very, very good to watch. And of course, Dusty Martin is the game changer. He did have a few moments of absolute genius. That swerving curling kick, I think it was in the start of the second or the end of the first. Wow, I mean, that's what he's got in his locker, hasn't he? He has got, for me, if he stayed on at the end of the second, they probably would have got up again and got another one. I just think it was a strange decision, but all in all, Ben Brown, star man, North Melbourne, fantastic from start to finish. Wanted it more, bullied Richmond at times, physically stronger, better. Their tackling was unbelievable. Just absolute general play. Their passing all over from start to finish was on point. They just did everything right. 99-62, the full-time score, and that is an absolute hammering by any stretch of the imagination. That is an absolute hammering, particularly down to the fact that I think the Tigers were sitting in 4th or 5th in the ladder before the match started, and you know, nobody would have foreseen such an unbelievable victory, really. There was people that were actually subscribers of mine that have made the point in saying, I've got the Roos to win this. I think they've got a bit of form going into it. They just fancied everything surrounding them before the match started. They just had a wee feeling that the Roos might do it. I'm on the fence. I don't really know enough about both teams to make that judgment, so all I can do is take people's advice and what they say about it. And obviously, as a neutral, knowing about the two teams a little bit, I would have probably said the Tigers. But great game, great advert for the sport again. The underdog won, and they absolutely won in style. Fantastic. Makes the ladder a little bit more interesting as well, doesn't it? Let's hope for a couple more upsets to make the end to the season look even better. Love this sport. I'm looking forward to watching a game tomorrow morning, and I might catch up with the Western Bulldogs. I think they play Sunday, so 2 or 3 games I'll cover this weekend. I'll do a bit of the highlights and I'll give maybe a review in the car chat, either Monday coming or Sunday as well, of the highlights of this weekend's fixtures. Thanks very much for your continued support. I absolutely appreciate it. I hope you can see my passion for the sport shining through in my videos. I absolutely love it. I promise I'll learn players' names, coaches' names, different things within the sport that I'm not actually 100% sure of, like certain rules. I've got to be honest, I'm picking it up very, very quickly. Different rules like the holding on to the ball, that's kind of bog standard really in sport, isn't it? It's kind of like an obstruction. If you're stopping the play and you're holding on to the ball, that speaks for itself. It doesn't need explained. But certain things involving tackling and other things where you can get freezed, I'm kind of picking up on them just by watching it. But all in all, absolutely loving what I'm seeing so far. Some quality players were on display today, and man of the match, Ben Brown. Congratulations, big sideshow. You done well. Sideshow Ben. Alright guys, thanks for tuning in again. I really appreciate it. See you soon. Good luck. Just a quick message, I'm back. Remember, you can follow me on Facebook and Instagram. It's both the same handle. It's the Donfather at the Don's channel. You can check out my Patreon page, which is patreon.com/the Don's channel, which is all one word, where you can donate and become a patron to the channel to help improve the channel and hopefully put money into the trip to Australia for me and my family. We plan on coming to Australia. We're actually doing other countries as well on the channel, so that would be great and help towards raising money for these trips as well. So check that out, guys. I have got Twitter, but it's not really used that much. It's usually just for my football in the UK I use my Twitter, but if you want to follow me on Instagram and Facebook, that would be sweet. And don't forget, subscribe to this channel and put the notifications bell on, and that will alert you to any of the videos we release. Thanks very much. I am definitely away this time. Goodbye.